Hi friends, welcome back to the third session on percentages. Now let us start with the same question which we have left out in the previous session, right? In the previous session I explained the same question with the help of the conventional method. Now I am going to have a fantastic shortcut for this one. The question says like this: if price of a commodity is increased by 25%, by what percent a person should reduce the consumption so as not to change the expenditure, is the question. Now in the previous session we did the question in this way. I took the price of the commodity as 100 rupees and consumption as 100 kgs, and obviously expenses was 10,000 rupees on that one. Based on that we found out the percentage by how much a customer should reduce the consumption so as not to change the expenditure. But the same question can be done with the one step. Now let us take in this way. Suppose it is increased or decreased, whatever it may be. Take that percent as, let us say, X percent. If it is X percent, for this type of questions, the direct formula is X divided by, right, 100 plus or minus X into 100. So direct one we can go for. Alright. So plus we will use in case the price of the commodity is increased. We will use minus when price of the commodity is decreased. As simple as this one. Now simply my answer is going to be, now this is 25. 25 divided by, this is now plus increased, 125 into 100. Now my answer is 20%. Right? The answer is the person should reduce the consumption by 20% when the price of the commodity increased by 25%, where the expenses are not changed. This is the best way. Now let us change the question, right? We'll do it another way. The price of a commodity is, let us say, decreased by 20%. Now by what percent a person should increase the consumption so as not to change the expenditure? Now I'll do this question directly with the shortcut. We will use the same formula. Only change I want to make for this one is instead of plus it should be minus. Now the problem is, very simply I can solve this problem, of course. Now here it is reduced by 20%. I am taking this 20% here, right? 100 minus 20, that is 80, into, it is of course 100. Now the person has to increase his consumption by 25%, right, when the price of the commodity decreased by 20% so as not to change the expenditure. Hope you got the idea, right? So now let us go for another model in percentages. Next, very commonly asked questions, right, in various competitive examinations, they will be giving in this way. Let us say a student has to score, let us say 40%, right, of the total marks to pass an examination. If he gets, right, let us say 60 marks, he gets 60 marks and fails by 40 marks, right? Then what are the maximum marks set for that examination is the question. Maximum marks. Now you see, try to understand the concept. Now here I am going to use the unitary method without taking any x or y. In the unitary method there is no need to take anything as x. We can save ample of time in the examination. How I can imply unitary method here? Simple way, you see. They have given in this way. A student has to get 40% of marks. So pass percentage is 40. This is 40%. Alright. Now he has to get 40% to get through the examination. Now the next one is, in fact he got 60 marks. He got 60 marks. But failed by 40 marks. What's the meaning of that one? When he get 60 marks and he failed by 40 marks, the meaning of that one is 60 plus 40 should be the pass mark. How can I come to that conclusion? When he got 60, failed by 40 means if he gets another 40 marks or if he got another 40 marks, definitely he would have passed the examination. So now pass mark will be 60 plus 40, so that is 100. See the unitary method now. Pass percentage is 40%. Pass marks are 100 marks. In both the cases, the total number of marks is same. In that case, I can equalize these two. How can I equalize these two? 40% of total marks is 100. Then 100%. Always when I am taking 40% of something, that number becomes 100%. In the basic session itself, I have explained you very, very clearly. Now 100% is equal to how much? Now 100% is obviously 100 by 40 into 100. Just go for this one. Now it is 425. My answer is 250. Maximum marks is 250. Right? Always use unitary method for this type of questions. Now let us move on to other question, that is extension of this question. Many students are getting confused for this question. Now you will realize how best I can use this unitary method for this problem. Now let us extend the question in this way. Now let us take in this way. A student got 30% of the marks. Right? A student got 30% of the marks in an examination and failed the exam by, let us take 50 marks. Alright. Another student, this is next student, another student got, let us take 55%, got 55% of the marks and got 30 marks more than required for passing. See, 30 marks more than required for passing. Right? In this case also, what is the maximum mark set for this examination? Alright. Now you see, how can we use this unitary method? Very simple way. Now, first student 1 got 30% marks, but he failed by 50 marks. When another student got 55% of the marks and he got 30 marks more than required for passing. 30 marks more than required for passing. Now, in both the cases, maximum marks is same. How to equalize this one? Let us take the difference in terms of percentage and difference in terms of marks there. And finally, I am going to equalize that. Now, obviously, the difference of the percentages between two candidates is 55 minus 30, that is 25%. Alright. Now, what is the difference of marks between these two? Observe carefully. One person got 50 marks less than passing. Right? Other person got 30 marks more than required for pass. Now the difference between these two will become 50, right? Or else you take this one, anyway, no problem, continue. 50 plus 30. It will become 50 plus 30. Why is this 50 plus 30? The logic is simple. Suppose if you take, this is the pass mark, right? The first student got 50 marks less than pass mark. And the other student got 30 marks more than required for pass. Obviously, the difference between these two is this person got first these 50 marks, again over and above that one 30. Obviously, the difference will become 50 plus 30, that should be 80. Now, my direct unitary equation is 25% of total marks is equal to 80. Then 100% is equal to how much? Now, you must have realized the use of this method. Now, very clearly, my answer is, I am writing here, it should be 100 by 25 into 80. Now, this is 4, so that is 320 is the answer. Alright, this is the best out of the best ways to go for questions like less than pass mark and more than pass mark. Mostly these questions are asked in various competitive exams like Staff Selection Commission, SSC, then UPSC, CSAT examination, and even bank exams also. Right? Now, after this one, let us move a little further. How to use a Venn diagram concept, sets concept in percentages. Some questions can be done very easily with the help of sets concept there. Let us start with a simple basic question, and after that I will give you one question which is asked in many competitive exams. Right? Now, let us take in this way. There are two subjects. Right? There are two subjects, and in a class some students have taken the test for these two subjects. Let us take in this way. Subjects are English and science, or English or maths, whatever it may be. Let us take in this way. In a school, otherwise in a college, some percentage wise they give the questions in this way. Now, in English, 55% of the students passed in English, right? And 45% of the students are passed in, let us take maths, passed, and 10% of the students passed in both. 10% passed in both. Now, what is the percent of the students who failed in both the subjects? Who failed in both? Now, what's the percent of the students failed in both? Okay, I can directly use a sets chapter for this one. Very simply, I'll go with the diagram there, Venn diagram. Now, I'm taking this one as English, and I'll go for this one as maths. Since there is a common portion, I'll go for intersection. Then after that, I'm taking this one as a mu. When they are given in percentages, obviously mu becomes 100%. This is. Now the students qualified in English in total 55%, and this is 45%, both, that is 10%. Now very clearly, when English is 55, already 10 is here, 55 minus 10, 45% here. Now it is 45 minus 10, 35% here. Alright. Now, what is the percentage of students who failed in both the subjects? Who failed in both the subject means that is equal to this part here. This is called none part. Generally this is called none part. What we are going to do, there is a separate chapter for you by name data analysis. In data analysis, I am going to discuss these questions in a detailed manner. Now, as far as percentage is concerned, let us take this one as it is. Now, when it is given in this way, when it is 100%, always remember this 45 plus 10 plus 35% is known as a percentage of students who passed in at least one subject. At least one subject means one or more than one. More than one means here maximum subjects are 2. Now at least one subject means one or more than one. Remember, there is the general principle here, right? Total minus passed in at least one will give me failed in both. That is called none part, right? Total minus passed in at least one will give me failed, right? Failed in both, of course. Now clearly this is total is 100 minus, now it is 45, 10, anyway this is 55 plus this one, I am going to 45 plus 10, 55, 60 plus this is 30, that is 90%, right? So this is 45, right, plus this is 35, 40 plus 30, 70, 80 plus 10, 90. Now this is 100 minus 90, 100 minus 90. Now it will become 10%. Now 10% of the students failed in both the subjects. Now this is the basic level understanding of how to go for percentages by using this sets chapter, using the sets chapter. Alright, so now let us extend this question. Let us extend this one with a little more information there, which is being asked in recent competitive examinations, right? Now let us go for that question. Let us take in this way. I'll tell you, I've just collected this question from one of the very important competitive exams. Just take this one. In an examination, they have given in this way. In an examination, 70% of the students, 70% of the students passed in paper 1. Now, in paper 1, 70% of the students passed. And in paper 2, 60% of the students passed. 60% this is passed. Okay. Then paper 2, 60% passed. Then they have given 15% of the students failed in both. Now you see. Now here 15% failed in both. Failed in both. Okay. And the other information they have given, if failed in both, then 270 students passed in both the papers. What is the total number of students? Then final question they have asked in this way, if 270 students passed in both, what is the total number of students? What is total number of students? Right? I just read out the question for you. In an examination in paper 1, 70% passed. Paper 2, 60% passed. But 15% failed in both. Then if 270 students passed in both the subjects, then what is the total number of students in that class, or whatever it may be. Now how to go for this one? Simply, I am going to use the Venn diagram for this one. Now I will go for the Venn diagram in this way. I am taking this one as paper 1, and it is of course paper 2, and I will use the diagram in this way. But observe this, I am not using the passed diagram. It's a simple blind technique for us. I am going to take this one as failed diagram. This is failed. In the previous question I took passed. Failed means how to take this one? In paper 1, 70% passed means 30% failed. Now paper 1 failed 30. Paper 2, 60% passed. So 40% failed. This is okay. Right? In both the papers, 15% failed in both. This is failed. I have taken it as it is. Alright. So now, when it is 100%, what should be the figure here? 30 minus 15. It should be 15. And other one is 40 minus 15. You take this one. This is as 25. Alright. Now, if you add it up, it is 30, 55 here. What do you mean by 55? The students who failed in at least one subject is 55. Total minus failed in at least one will give me here passed in both. Remember, passed in both. This is altogether other way I have taken this one for our purpose. Alright. So 30% failed here, 40% failed here, 15% failed in both. I added up this one. This is 30 plus 25, 55. 55% of the students failed in at least one subject. Total minus at least failed in one will give me passed in both. Now this refers 100 minus this is 55. Now it is 45. What's the final conclusion? 45% of the students passed in both the subjects. Now, according to this one, according to the given problem, 270 passed in both. What is the total number of students? Now, I should take in this way. Number wise, 270 passed in both. Percentage wise, it is 45. Now, my unitary equation is like this. I am writing here. So, 45% of the total students is equal to 270. Then 100% is equal to how much? Now 100% is 100 by 45 into 270. Just go for this one, you will get 600 for this one. You will go for 600 for this one. This is the best way to go for this one. Alright, now students, what I am going to do, let us close the session with this question, and in the next session I am going to discuss another 5 new model, right? 5 questions which are from different model there. Let me give some shortcuts for that one. After that I am going to give you the questions from previous examinations. We will take the questions randomly and we are going to discuss some questions. I'll use shortcuts or depending upon that one, right? We'll go for that one. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much.